Good evening, folks. See that right there? You see that? That is a major upgrade to the old boat. Let me first say that this is a video for the do-it-yourselfers, for the anglers that's not getting, I hope everybody that's getting sponsored, I hope they continue to get sponsored for the rest of their fishing days. But this is for the people who have bought this out of their own pocket, want an easy setup. You're not taking it to a boat dealer, you're gonna do it yourself. You've saved up, you've got the money, you've got the time to put this on. This video is for you. There's a lot of videos out there that show you how to run this to an Ethernet box, how to put it on an absolutely brand new boat, but none of it really fit my situation with an older boat, with kind of rigging it up on a single battery usage. So I'm going to show you all how I rigged up this new major upgrade to this boat, and a few things that you may not be aware of before you get started. So let's get into it. So first of all, what this new major upgrade is, this is Humminbird Mega Live. I'll try to put in a clip here of what this looks like. The first setting is on like a down setting, and if you'll look, you can see the lure falling with a fish coming up and eating it. And you can see that in real time. I've got it on slow-mo on the second clip. There's the lure falling, the fish bites it, and you're pulling the fish in. Slow-mo, bam, just hit it. Hook set, fighting the fish. Next is in like a landscape. It's kind of out in front of you, and if you look down, there's all kinds of fish swimming around the brush pile, and actually some suspended fish out front, and you see those fish in live action. Next is kind of a forward facing sonar. You can see the fish moving all around your boat in any direction, and you're able to cast to them perfectly. And what this transducer does is it allows you to see fish in real time. You can see your bait on the screen. You can see the fish swimming around in live feed, real time. And potentially, if you get your settings dialed in just right, you can see the fish eat your bait. So this is amazing. And that's not really the reason. It's not really the reason why I got it. I just didn't want to waste a bunch of time in areas where there was no fish. So I can use this, scan around, see if I see anything, and go from there. But the install is simple. I didn't want to film the whole install because I did it all by myself, and it was just too difficult. You can't mess this up. You do exactly what the instructions say here. You run your cables up, zip ties. It's got these little pieces here that you go around your trolling motor. And I did raise mine up. I know some people put theirs directly down. I did raise it up just slightly. I don't think that'll interfere with anything. But if anybody has any comments about if that needs adjusted, just let me know. But this is the most simplest part of the install. It tells you exactly how to do it. There's little lines down here that you line everything up. You cannot get this wrong. You just can't do it. And you leave some slack here, and you leave some slack on the top. Other than that, that is so simple. Let's jump in the boat real quick. So as I previously mentioned here, there's just not a lot of installs. There's not a lot of installs that did it how I wanted to do it. So I only have one unit, and there's a few things that is going to be changed in the future. And I tried to make it as simple for myself for when these changes happen, it'll be a quick transition. So right now, all I have is a Helix 9. All I run up here is a Helix 9, and where my Ultrex had Mega down imaging, I've only always used this for mega down imaging. But the number one thing that I would recommend to anybody is that if you are running your Mega Live transducer on a Helix unit, it doesn't matter what Helix unit it is, you have to have a special dongle that converts your Ethernet into something that will plug into your Helix. I need to clean that screen. But anyway, if you're thinking of getting Mega Live and you have a Helix, buy the dongle that goes along with it, so you'll have all the tools when you get set up. First of all, the dongle plugs directly into the Ethernet cable. This cable here, it plugs directly into it. You plug it in and go. That is how you get the image from the transducer to your Helix, from the Ethernet to the dongle. Very important, get the dongle. My next little hurdle was getting power to the transducer. So what I wanted to do was not run it through a communications box, an Ethernet box. I wanted a specific battery set up for the unit. It runs everything on the unit. I'll show you what I did to get the power and to get everything kind of centrally located to the unit. So what I did, the power cable comes from the transducer. I did install this little sweet trail jacket too, but I've got a hole here where my cables is running. I'm gonna get a custom cover to cover all that where it looks a lot nicer. But anyway, in this old Ranger, we've got rod storage here, and I need to vacuum and clean this boat. I've been working on it, and there's stuff everywhere, but I plan on shampooing and cleaning it up really nice. So Woodrow uses this box for his rods. There's very little in here, and there's really nothing over here. So what I decided to do was I wanted to put a battery over here to run power specifically to the transducer. So I had to take that front plate off. I took that off, took all the screws out, come out of there, and there is a, let me see if I can show you. In this rod locker, there's this is a rod storage that goes all the way to the front of the boat. It goes all the way up there to that. So all I did was, with that plate, that wood grain face plate off, I found this rod storage up here. I chipped away the foam. This is a Ranger boat, so it's foam filled. So I found that storage, chipped the foam away, and I drilled a hole just big enough for my power cable to run down through here. So here is my power cable directly up to the transducer. For the long haul, this will not be just a regular standard deep cycle battery. I will eventually save the weight and save the space and do a lithium, but for right now, after you drop so much money on that transducer, this stuff ain't being sponsored. It's not being put on for free and all that stuff. So this come out of my pocket. That's a huge expense up there for that transducer. So I just didn't have it to buy a big expensive lithium battery. But eventually that is going to be the case. This will be replaced with a lithium battery. I know the positives. I know the compare and contrast with it. Lithium is better for weight, for saving space, all that stuff. But anyway, this is my power cable. Now, if you run this directly to the battery, that transducer up here, it always will be pulling power. So you have to put some kind of on and off switch, which is what I did. I run this, I've got this single circuit on and off switch. Right now it's off, so no power is being pulled by the transducer. And I also, on my hot side, I put this inline fuse. So if I have any type of power surge, any type of power issues whatsoever, it will blow this fuse before it does anything with my transducer. All I did, found that cavity up here in the front, drilled a hole through, run my cord, Did my power cord on my hot side. I've got my inline fuse ran to an on and off switch. So every time I take this out of the water, I turn it off. No more power is being lost. And I can recharge this battery. I have a, in the ceiling right above the boat here, I've got just a single battery charger that I'm gonna drop down, charge my battery. But there you have it, folks. New, major upgrade to this boat. Will it help me catch fish? Maybe not. It may not do anything, but I feel like it will help me save time on the water. I think I can scan around, see if there's any fish swimming by, and if they are, I can stay and try to catch those fish, and if I don't see anything, I can say, hey, let's move on. But like I said, this is an install for an older boat, for a do-it-yourselfer, this is not a boat place doing it. I did all this myself. It's not how I want it permanently. I think eventually I'm gonna go to maybe a Helix or Solix 12 to just simply run the Mega Live, and then I'm gonna upgrade that battery to a lithium eventually, but that stuff is so expensive. If it's not being sponsored, not being paid for by everybody else, your normal working people just can't throw $8,000-9,000 down and upgrade the whole system at once. But for now, that will allow me to use the Mega Live. It's set up. Is it how I want it permanently? No, but it is sufficient and it's working now. Lastly, one of the most important parts, I would say, other than the dongle, is you have to upgrade any Helix unit to the newest software. Mine takes the small SD cards, and the unit will not recognize an SD card over 32 gig. So I tried to use a bigger one at first, and my unit wouldn't even recognize it. I went to a 16 gig and it was fine. This Humminbird unit hadn't been upgraded in 2 or 3 upgrades, so it took a while. It took me nearly 2 hours to put all the upgrades on it. I had to update the lakes database, had to update all that. But you have, if you own a Helix, you have to do the upgrades to get your unit to be able to recognize the Mega Live and to be able to show you the Mega Live on the screen. Before you buy Mega Live, just figure out, if you're going to do like me, run it on its own designated battery. You can network it into the networking box, but the way we fish, it's just not, it really doesn't serve any purpose to have it to where the back of the boat can see the Mega Live. It just didn't fit our style. So figure out whether you're going to network it. Maybe you fish tournaments, maybe you don't. I don't know. We don't fish tournaments. We fun fish and do these little crazy YouTube videos. So networking means nothing to us. There is one other thing that I wanted to mention. The Mega Live come with a choke that if you run it to your to the same battery that you got like your trolling motor on, you can put that choke. But if you use a designated battery, you don't have to use the choke because it's straight one battery. There's no interference. It's just here and you're done. Be on the lookout. I'm really going to start trying to use these electronics to our advantage and to hopefully catch some of that footage to where you can actually see the fish come up and eat the bait. So, major upgrade. Will it help? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll catch a state record. I don't know. But if you have any questions, have any comments, please leave a comment. Ask me. If I know, I'll tell you. If I don't, I'll say, man, it's above me. I'm sure there's some things I'm forgetting to mention on what I had to do with this, but I absolutely hope that we can catch the fattest of the jigs with this Mega Live. We're gone.